Ooh, I mean, if they don't ban the Varia, it is going to be very sketchy. But I think with the Diggy out, they can actually just let the Varia go. That was the plan initially for Todak.
Generally, definitely possible, but keep in mind, Todak is going to be back onto this towards that second pick with Blacklist International on that first pick. So generally, that should be the case here. There we go. Novaria is going to get taken out. Now forced to play standard, but that means that Valentina is open.
Do they want to take it first pick though? Right? I mean, here's the thing. Valentina is strong. Eve is strong. I kind of feel like for Blacklist International, they're definitely looking at both heroes. Never mind, Psycho Fredrin is here.
Yeah, with the Fredrin so good.
Shoutouts to RSG as well, because I was hanging out with them and they gave me that term. But I kind of feel like now it's sticking. Now I think we're just going to call it the Psycho Fredrin.
Oh, for sure. 100%. When you think Fredrin is gone, Psycho Fredrin is just looking back at you like, say what now? Say that again, one more time. I got my retry up, by the way.
Oh, man. Todak. Do they want to go for what they went for in game number 1? Just instantly with a Kai Arlet here?
I kind of feel like Claude would be okay. Just take it now before it gets picked up, right?
They have last pick in the first phase, so I think they want to utilize that to actually, you know,
Claude?
Maybe pick Claude, right? Again, Blacklist International can simply just pick up that Claude away, but Todak, I don't think they want to. Do they want to be that one-dimensional? Just go for the Claude? No. Martis and Valentina.
Very interesting, yeah.
This is a rather interesting pick here because we do have a 50% current 50% win rate on this Martis, but it's also a considerable flex pick for both Momo as well as Rival. It can go into the EXP and as well as that jungle position, and I think for Momo, he's definitely comfortable with it. We've seen Fredrin openers happen before in MPL MY. They played against it many, many times, and even during the SEA games as well, we did see a couple of people make that same attempt to snowball Martis from the EXP lane.
I'm going to do you one better. Maybe Chiku guys.
Don't look at me like that.
I mean, like, are you really gonna tell me there's no world that Chiku guys doesn't use the Marcus goalie?
Oh, man. He probably does somewhere in his ranked games, but maybe for now it might be a bit too crazy. We'll have to see what Blacklist International go for first. They go for the Minotaur and the Yi. So with a few heroes banned away, with the SS and Diggy banned away, it's, I guess, Venus's third most comfortable pick. It is going to be the Minotaur, which is, again, very uncharacteristic because we've never really seen Venus on a full initiation hero. Thing is, Blacklist don't have dive. And right now, Todak. Oh my god.
Chiku and they're picking it up Hilda again! Alright, Chiku guys has dealt 100% of Todak's turret damage with a total of 20,068 damage to turrets last game.
100%.
Oh,
you know
my
what?
goodness.
This is a different kind of funneling.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I've never seen a turret funnel before, but I guess we've seen it now.
I think Chiku told the team, you guys just clear the minions.
Yeah.
Don't even
distract them.
Destroy your own body for me.
This is some sadistic. This is some
He sounds like a
masochistic.
He sounds like a dictator.
Masochistic.
I
Oh,
mean, anything for the win, right?
Anything for the win.
anything at all costs. All right, let's see what the second phase is going to be here. Because again, the fact is that Todak is going in blind with this Hilda, right? They have
Quad
something
Ben, right?
in mind. Oh, wait, now that I think about it, at the very least I know that Hilda is able to cancel out a decent amount of abilities, and I think it might be applicable to Minotaur in this case.
I haven't seen a lot of that interaction, so that is very interesting to see here in game. Right now, as we're talking about the quad ban, even the production is like, okay, let's
even
reset.
they can't handle the traps.
Yeah, even they is like, come on, it has to be a quad, right? If it's not, then disrespect.
I don't know. I feel like again, Todak might just be trying to force that Beatrix out, and yeah, it's not going to be. I don't think Claude sounds like that. So Blacklist International did not go for the Claude ban here.
That sounds like a
carry.
Yeah, it sounds like a carry. Yeah.
All right, so get rid of the carry. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, carry is the obvious counter pick to basically all tanks in this game, and you've got two of the beefiest ones right in the first two picks for Blacklist International. We come back over to Todak's side, and it's going to be the Beatrix ban this time. We are seeing some form of adjustments in the second phase.
Do they want to pull off the Natan again? There's no dive technically from Blacklist International right now, and for Todak, look, they have two physical damage dealers. They're setting up for something magic, I believe.
Lunox?
Ooh, Lunox jungle. That is very interesting, man.
Lunox jungle. I like how you say Lunox jungle instantly when it comes to Todak.
It's
you know,
They made it a signature for a reason.
it's very interesting. Chiku guys was the one that used the Lunos jungle, but it's kind of like one of the process of interviews. Like, yo, you want to enter Todak rival? Can you use the Lunos jungle? And he's like, I can try. Chiku made sure that he could use it.
Got the job.
Got the job for sure.
Lapu, no Claude ban, so the Claude might just come through here. But if they do go for the Claude, Todak are going to be severely dependent on physical damage right now.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I think even for Blacklist International, they actually respect the fact that anti-CC is going to be a little bit of an issue, so getting rid of the Lapu is always going to be great. We know that Valentina is susceptible to CC, but if you're still the real-world manipulation, that opens up a couple of options. But let's not forget, the Minoan Fury can also be stolen at the same time.
They want to go for Joy right now, is my question, right? Good dive up against Blacklist International, good mobility to try to face off against the Minotaur as well, and has a bit of anti-CC within her kit.
And deny.
And magic damage.
I don't know. I feel like even Arlet might actually be a little bit more suitable in these particular cases. At least with the Final Slash, you can start denying abilities.
Nope.
Harrod.
Yo!
You say Joy? What did you say, Joy?
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm just trash.
Let's just throw all of
We're bad at the game.
all the data
terrible.
we have here. Yeah, let's just throw it out. I mean,
We
why
need
do we
it.
even have a data
Right.
for Todak?
You know what? Production has been keeping us up to date with all the stats, but even then, it's still tough to predict what's going to be happening in this matchup. Blacklist International start things off in the second phase with the Arlet for themselves, and I think that's great, especially when you're up against a Harith. It's always good to be able to kind of lock him down just for a couple of seconds.
Here's the thing. It kind of shows to me that this time Todak, they want to fight. Looking at the draft right now, they're like, yeah, just now we gave you guys a lot of room. This time, not going to happen.
Oh, and even Blacklist want to fight too, locking in the Brody into this matchup. I'm liking it. This is going to be a high body count game.
No, Todak can just go for something like a Terizla now in the XP lane, put the Martis in the jungle, and the Terizla is going to have a lot to say. Anti-CC, once again, in the penalty zone, is a very good counter onto the Brody early to mid when he doesn't have enough attack speed to get those basic attacks off because it cancels it all the time.
Yep. Or the Lunox jungle.
I like how we default to Lunox jungle
Because we're talking about if we're talking about anti-CC, we have to talk about iframes, right? They basically come hand in hand to each other, and there's not a lot of heroes that do that. Oh, Yu Song. Okay, you know what? I
You
guess
guys are bad about the game.
We're terrible.
We're terrible.
None of our predictions correct here. None of our calls.
To be
Wolf would have
fair, can people really blame us? Is
mean,
it really our fault?
It's
I
Todak's
mean,
fault, I think, more than us, right?
I don't know. LaFell was able to call it in game number 2 how this game would eventually end. So,
But he's Malaysian.
No, I'm calling for this game.
what
It's
is
going to
that
be a
supposed
brawl.
to be, man?
I'm calling this game a brawl, man.
Calling it a brawl?
Once Chiku has 2 items on the Harif, it's all looking for blood.
All right, Clippers, hold him accountable for it. Let's find out. Is he going to be 2 for 2 here? He's 1-0 currently, and I'm expecting everybody to show up in the mid lane and start battling it out.
The crowd's ready. You can see them, man. They are ready for this third game of the series. We expected anticlimactic after game number 1, after the stomp of game number 2. But Todak somehow, someway, were able to shift the tides. And now we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 for the first seed in Group D.
This is going to be the last match here of the group stage before we move into the knockouts. Blacklist on the blue side with Todak on the red
Don't go in
side.
Yums. Just relax. Like it's the Yums. Yums.
He's giving tips. Oh, forcing a red tree early on. Yums dealing pretty good damage, but this is the problem, I believe. Up against a Fredrin. Oh, no. Yums, this time he's actually baited out the red tree, so he can continue to do what he wanted to do in game number 1.
Right now, honestly, I kind of feel like all he's trying to achieve is slow everyone down. But while we're having this time, we're seeing Yums take a beating, being a bit masochistic here. I'm actually looking at Moon for him to kind of like set the tempo for the team because there's a lot of great ults that he can take. And if he takes a good one and actually has a good start to the fight, then it's going to be very good for Todak.
I totally agree with you here, but also notice that Yums decided to go for Concussive Blast as well as taking the Flicker rather than going for the Sprint. So it's not like he can get out of these really, really tight situations and buy like a whole bunch of time. He's just waiting for these critical moments.
3-man though, up top already. Chiku Guy is going to be pressured here, forced to recall pretty early on, and he will just respect that. He knows that he can't go for that gold minion anyways, unless he wants to get threatened here. But for the in-game emblems, anything in particular to note out?
No, because I don't think that's the mage emblem for Chiku Guy, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
So, it's alright. Sorry, it's okay.
It's alright for now. It's alright for now. But look at the bottom side, right? Just a lot of pressure towards Edward.
Edward so far still doing quite okay. So for both teams, it looks like they're showing their face and then they're like, can we do this? No, we cannot. So at least for both teams, they're being respectful. Not a lot of crazy kills in the early stages of the fight. For now, Chiku Guys as well as Owl look like they're doing quite even, though I would say Chiku Guys is trading a little bit more HP. Now Black Dragon form from Momo looking for Wise.
He found Wise in the bush right now. He does have the Petrify. Wise and be able to dash away. Minion Fury blocking 2 members up. Now another knockup, but Momo finds the Petrify now onto Wise. The Turtle's still up. Real world manipulation dealing a whole lot of damage, but the sustain is actually there. And first blood goes to Rival. He's looking for more. Decimation is on, but Wise is able to sustain back up with the Appraiser's Wrath. Young with the flicker out with a basic attack. Fade away from Yue. Finds the double. Todak once again will lose in the early game with Wise having more pressure on the Turtle, but they know this information. No retribution on Wise. Can Moon look for the steal? He cannot. Wise gets it. Venus looking for the knockup. Moon knocked up, forced to flicker out.
Honestly, super close coming in from Yums. He could have survived if he was able just to get his foot, just one more pixel to touch that brush and Parok is passive once again. I mean, the idea was definitely there, right? Momo wanted to jump its back, hopefully trying to slow down Yue and maybe put them low enough for Rival to kind of finish them off one by one.
Another thing is, he almost hit level 4. If he hit that level 4, he would have survived. And now, oh my Venus sees Humes as well as Moon. So far, this Minotaur is getting punished quite a lot, but so far it is going to be quite okay.
Even the Power of Wildest committed, but look at this. Wise, Psycho, Fredrin locking him down. Minion and Fury to take him out. Real world manipulation as well. Put all the ults and the kitchen sink down below. Solo kill from Owl. Torn apart memory.
Oh, that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. Blunder after blunder coming out for the side of Todak, but this could be a repeat of game number 2. Who knows? Tough to say, but you're going to have to keep your hopes up. So far, so good for Blacklist International, right? You can definitely tell by their movements. They're not looking for these big invades. They're just making sure that the river line is going to be safe. Oh, what's going on in the mid lane?
Moon is going on in the mid lane. He's getting completely ganked and shut down this game. 0, 2, and 1. Rival forced to just soak in all the mid waves in the mid lane, and Todak are just falling behind. Chiku Guys now with Zaman Force. It might be another solo kill as the Torn Apart memory comes through. Oh my god! So much damage. Wise. He's looking for the Appraiser's Wrath stacks. Rival and Yums are there to back him up. Will give him enough space to clear out the mini waves, but so far, Blacklist 3,000 gold lead already.
Okay, guys, you know, I said it's going to be a bloodbath. I say it's going to be a brawl. Not like this. You know, I thought it'd be a little bit more even for now. 6 kills to 1. Todak has not been doing quite good in this trade. And Yums, he's really just tanking everyone. He's trying to delay. I don't know what's going on here.
I think he's trying to bait the abilities, and he did do that! Momo finds a Petrify, the Furious die, but Venus is still able to escape from Decimation. Now Moon stealing away the Mutant Fury. Momo with the Black Dragon form will fall. Yue picks up a double. The Appraiser's Wrath comes through. Blacklist have withstood the chaos, and they're able to punish.
Beautifully played by Blacklist. They're making sure that their low members flicker out right at the very end while the rest of the members try and body block Rival from getting even remotely close. Keep in mind, the Decimation has a limited range. It's not very, very long. And more importantly, there is a slight channel time. So if timed right, he can technically, it's a bit of a gamble, right? Rival could technically follow them along that flicker, but if done early, you won't have the space and time.
Todak's got to slow down a bit, get some farm, get equal levels, because even looking at levels here, Chiku Guys about to hit level 7, but Owl is already level 7. Yums keeps on going on, and look, he's taking way too much damage, man.
Forced to commit the flicker here early, again, 5th minute in the game. But it does give some more space for Chiku Guys. He didn't know a lot of members were down there. Now they can actually slow the tempo down. But with a 5,000 gold lead, with a turret already taken on this Brody, remember, this is Owl on the Brody. He understands completely how to snowball in this game by getting these turrets, and Blacklist seem to understand that as well. They're already rotating him down below. If this turret falls, that's so much map pressure that Blacklist can use to actually even invade in the enemy jungle.
Look, right now I'm looking level difference so much. Even Venus and Yums, there's a level difference here. So Todak again, they're going for my Venus. I don't think that's a very great idea, especially Chiku Guys is actually being denied a lot of the minions, and now Moon has to flicker away, but Edward is there.
Final slash. Moon again, 0, 3, and 1 now counting. Blacklist International have completely read out what Todak wants to go for. Even Momo here in the mid lane forced to again soak in those minions, and yes, Blacklist are playing the siege perfectly with the Brody, playing towards the Brody, giving him space, and now with this big snowball, I can only imagine what one torn apart memory can do to the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's going to absolutely shred here, but Blacklist International at least have identified the movements coming in from Todak, because again, even if you guys were to suppose go to that top side, they know for a fact that Momo is covering, and especially these big choke points, to feed that information. It is a good way to kind of cover for Chiku, but it's not the greatest for anybody walking back into the mid lane. That's why Momo was such a prime target.
It's funnel. They're doing a funnel right now. Chiku is going to be on the purple buff, given it very early in the 7th minute of the game, despite Rival already being behind. He's still trying to go for that. Now, what does this mean?
This means, again, you gotta slow things down because you're really looking for Chiku guys to carry the game, but the thing is, it's kind of not great just because Athena Shield as well as Radiant Armor are a thing. I don't know, in this kind of situation, Todak might still be able to win the fights, but they really gotta make sure that they put into consideration the level difference. Edward's level 10, Momo is level 9. Unless they catch Blacklist slipping, it's going to be very difficult.
They're splitting Blacklist off. Edward, good read on Rival, just bringing him back right now as the turtle will actually be ignored. They want to go for the first Lord right now, understanding that Chiku has been doing the same thing. He's just been constantly splitting, so they don't actually want to go for the turtle. They're just going to go for the Lord that has just spawned.
And more importantly, as time goes on, rather than looking for these neutral objectives, actually Blacklist looking for these kills might be very, very worthwhile, right? Because at the end of the day, as much as Chiku wants to go and split push into the side, if he doesn't reveal himself, and more so if the housekeeping has been done right, taking out 3, arguably the most ideal situation for members from the side of Todak, making it obsolete for you to try to go for these back doors.
Right now, looking at the situation, I don't always see Harif split pushing, so we'll have to see if Chiku is able to use that well. The Lord is Blacklist. They're thinking about it, but at this point of time, it kind of feels like maybe not too worth it. But no, they are starting the Lord right now, and look at Todak's positioning. It doesn't look like it is going to be a good position for them to actually fight this.
I don't even think they should contest at this point, right? I mean, 6,000 gold lead. Game number 2, they tried to contest with a 6,000 gold lead, and they ended up just having to back away, and that's exactly what they do right now. They try to go for a turret down below, splitting up the map just like Fel said in game number 2, but now the overworld manipulation, that immobility field as well. Momo forced to use the Black Dragon form as they go for the defense here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Chiku in the bottom lane right there might be forced into a 1v1. Torn apart memory though from Owl. Beautifully placed, the fadeaway, and yes, Two Guys takes the fight, has the Purify now with his Mon Force as well, but cannot win in the 1v1 against Edward.
Oh!
Chiku, the shielding! Oh, so close, but Agent Zero takes the dub.
Oh my goodness, that was way too close for comfort. One single dodge made such a difference to not get the reset on the demon marks now. For the defense, it's going to be rather weak without Chiku, and more importantly, when it comes down to wave clear overall, even Moon is significantly behind. He's not strong enough to one-shot these waves by himself.
I gotta say that's the level difference, because again, 1 level difference. If they were equal levels, Chiku might have won that.
I think it's also just the Purify. I really wonder why Chiku didn't utilize the Purify there in the skirmish to try to, cancel out some of these stuns coming in.
I think it was already too late, right? He was already hit by the big ticket items. He was hit by the final slash. Wait, hold on.
Rival dropped back by the team by the final slash right there, but the real world manipulation does give Todak a lot more to say when it comes to these defenses high ground. So they're going to be able to defend for now. Only the 2 base turrets, or 2 tier 2 turrets on the side getting picked off.
Okay. Things have been going on pretty okay for now for Blacklist International. 9.2. They need to make sure that there's no holes in their attack. No opportunities for Todak to come back.
Final slash again, bringing Rival back. That's a lot of resources committed with the Minion Fury as well. With the Flicker inside, Chiku is holding on to that Purify, and look at Wise! With the Abrasion's Wrath is able to find a kill back. Bursting Chiku guide. Edward, final slash! Again, Moon brought back to the team. One more hit, UN finds it! Owl takes down the top side. 4 members down, make it 5! It's a wipeout from Blacklist International, and they do it quicker, faster, more efficiently this time. 11 minutes and 12 seconds.
11 minutes and 12 seconds is all they need. Congratulations to the agents. Blacklist International will be first seed coming out of their group, and unfortunately for Todak fans, they won't get knocked out, but taking the second seed means they're less likely to try and achieve top 4.
here's the thing. Now I kind of feel like Todak, this could be a wake-up call. Now they understand the strength of the competition. We're gonna have like what, 2 days between now and the knockout stage? I kind of feel like those 2 days has to be utilized well by Todak because again, the third draft, it was quite, I would say all 3 drafts were a big risk.
48 hours to utilize for all teams to figure out how they're going to start playing against their opponents, and not only that, fix their own gameplay. Let's keep in mind that the draws will be happening later on, but we're going to be throwing it over to our host up on stage. Mickey, please take it away.